Okay, so now this example, number 2, g of x equals 5x plus 2 over 4 minus x, should be sketched using the same process that we did before. So we're first going to look at the local behavior. So local has 3 things to look for, right? 3 things to do. So we first want to see if the, what the zeros are. Are there any zeros? You're going to set numerator equal to 0, right? Because if that's 0, everything's 0. So if 5x plus 2 equals 0, then I would have 5x equals minus 2, x equals negative 2/5. So I don't want to just leave it that way because it looks like an equation. I want to make sure that I write it as a point. Okay, so this one, write as a point. That's important. Zeros get written as points. So negative 2/5, 0. Okay, so we got our zeros. Then we want to look for, the next thing would be our vertical asymptote. Okay, so we're seeing, is there a vertical asymptote? We're going to set denominator equal to 0. So in this case we have 4 minus x equals 0. We would get 4 equals, x. There we go. And we want to write this as a line. So write as an equation. Okay, so we have, that one would be x equals 4. And now we're also going to look for holes. A lot of times there isn't going to be a hole unless you're going to be factoring. Then you'll see how that works out. But in this case, we have 4x. Let's look back up here at our function. 4 minus x, and we have a 5x plus 2 in the numerator, so nothing factors out. That's going to leave me with a 0 over 0 situation. So we're going to look for 0 over 0 situation. If there's none, we write none. So there isn't any here, so none. So no holes. Then the next thing, well, the last thing we're looking at is the global behavior. Okay, so we want to make sure we write that. Global. So we have to compare powers, okay, of the top, numerator, and denominator. We have the same power on this one. So it's coefficient of lead. So this, we might want to rearrange that to be, so it would be 5x plus 2 over negative x plus 4, so that we ensure we get that correct there. And we would have did I do my vertical asymptote? Yeah. And then we would have our power would be a negative 5 right here, coefficient. So we write that as a line. Okay, oh, a little too big there. So we're going to write that as y equals negative 5. So that's why I had to rearrange that just to make sure that I had my sign correct. Then I'm just going to go ahead and fill all these things in. So I would plot my, I'm going to use like this marker here. So I'm going to, 0. I'm going to plot my 0. So that's right about here. It's hard to maybe judge. Negative 2/5, 0. So that's a point. Then I'm going to put in my vertical asymptote, which will be at x equals 4, which is over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see that good enough. Okay, so that's vertical asymptote, x equals 4. So always label that. Then we're going to have our other one, our horizontal asymptote, we figured out to be -5. So let's get that sketched in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so horizontal asymptote, x equals -5. So again, label it. Now I know it's the first power on the bottom, so I'm going to have them approach. I know I'm going to have this direction here. Let me get kind of a thick one. Is going to be an up, because I know I have to hit through this, right? So I know I'm going to be on this side. So it's a little awkward at first trying to draw these. You could catch another point if you wanted to be more precise, but I know I'm going to have to come along that horizontal asymptote. And now I know this is going to have to go the opposite way. And make my asymptote. So this one looks a little wonky than maybe what you're used to, but if you can just at least get your arrows going in the correct directions, because they're going to be, if this one's going up, right, that's the first thing I would do. This would be going up. Then I know this one is going down, even though they're kind of spread apart. And then I know that it has to curve, and hug. Okay, so that's how we get the direction, and it's dictated by acting like the parent function because it's a first degree variable in the denominator on that piece. All right, so that's it for number 2. I can go through more in a slower pace ones if you want, like which ones you need me to do out. I can do more on this page, but I think I'll do separate videos for them. So this is 2A. Okay, thanks for watching.